From Devin Haney coming off an amazing win against Vasily Lomachenko to Ryan Garcia struggling to overcome his setback with Tank, here's everything you need to know about a potential Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia bout. May 20th was definitely a date to remember for the boxing world's lightweight division. You had the undefeated Haney facing off against Loma, a three-time world champ, with a decisive victory for Devin. But guys, it's not like the Ukrainian didn't put up a performance of a lifetime. Both of them had us on the edge of our seats for 12 rounds straight, with no clear winner until the very end. But as fate would have it, Devin's 29-0 record is still intact, and from the looks of it, he's looking to beat up more opponents. And there's one name at the top of that list: Ryan Garcia. Haney's glad the close calls came out in his favor and not Loma's. Even though the Ukrainian came close to snagging a victory in the last few rounds, he couldn't handle the heat Haney packed in his punches.
Man, Lomachenko is a future. He's a future Hall of Famer. It was a blessing. But first up, I want to say, alhamdulillah.
That's why the judges scored the fight in the American's favor, and it's given him a confidence boost to go after his longtime rival. Did you know that Garcia and Haney have already faced each other 6 times as amateurs? And that's not even the crazy part. They have 3 wins each on their resume, so it makes sense that they're looking for a way to settle the score. But before you get all excited for the bout, let me rain on your parade a bit. The confirmation is still pending, and we don't know much about the details, other than the fact that both fighters were suspended by the Nevada Athletic Commission. Ryan's been suspended until October 20th, 2023, and Devin's suspension is up on July 5th. If and when a fight does happen, though, it's expected that the face-off will happen at 140 pounds. Because let's be honest, they have no other choice. I mean, have you seen Haney lately? The man's getting way too big for the 135-pound division, and now that he beat Loma, he has the choice to vacate his 4 belts, move up a few pounds, and fight his old rival. As for Garcia, the younger fighter's eagerly waiting for the bout, and from the looks of it, Ryan's more than confident in his abilities, and he's willing to show them off.
After such a disappointment tonight, what's next for Ryan Garcia?
140. I'm going to 140. You know, this fight's not going to deter me too much of my dreams. You know, I got in there with one of the best, so, you know, I'm going to feel good. I'm going to go up and fight the top fighters at 140, and that's what I plan to do.
All he wants right now is to step in the ring with Haney. And did you know that Garcia's been dreaming about this fight? He said, "I'm really ready for this moment. I've dreamed about this moment." Clearly, he's been thinking about this fight for a long, long time. Garcia even called Devin out, saying, "Do you know how long I've been calling this man out? He does not know how much studying I've done on him. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a warning for the champ to me."
I was close to getting up for sure. I mean, I ain't got no
And
excuse.
can you believe that some fans don't think it's going to be an interesting fight? Sure, there's no title on the line, but hey, you know, these two are going to put on a show. They're extremely popular fighters, and both of them are stars of their division. Boxing insiders think the fight's going to come out in Haney's favor, but Garcia's more than ready to prove himself against his old-time rival and sees this fight as a rite of passage. In other words, he can't move on to bigger and better things without defeating Haney first. For Ryan, Devin's a stepping stone he needs to overcome, and only time will tell whether he has a little stone or a big boulder headed his way. But there's still a chance that the fight might not happen at all, because King Rai hit a little speed bump in his path to defeat Haney. Garcia was set to fight Gervonta Tank Davis, and he was hoping to get it over with and move on to the real deal. But guess what? King Rai slipped! He lost his bout with Tank, putting the status of his upcoming fight with Haney in jeopardy. The contest between him and Gervonta was definitely one of a kind, but Ryan became the victim of a body shock knockout in the 7th round. Nasty stuff. And get this. Now there's a lot of criticism coming Ryan's way, and people are saying that not only will he have to toughen up, but he'll need to take things slow, at least for a little while. Some fans are even complaining that Garcia actually gave up mid-fight, which is something no fighter ever wants to hear. He's now hearing comments like, he could have gone on, and that there's something about his fighting style that he really needs to reevaluate. But in his defense, he was dealt a brutal body shot knockout, and what people often fail to realize is that body shots can be just as if not more devastating as blows to the head and face. Fans often make it sound like the fighter wasn't trying hard enough, but the truth is that their body simply couldn't take it. Sounds to me like Rye needs more medicine ball training back at the gym so that he can pound his stomach and abs back into shape. His defeat was also a big shocker because he lost his undefeated status, which will take a toll on his confidence levels, no doubt. And he'll have to accept the fact that he's only human. It's also clear that King Rye won't be comfortable fighting Devin below 140 pounds because he had to cut weight to fight Tank. And believe me when I say that he didn't like it one bit. On top of that, he's still figuring things out with his body. So cutting weight and draining his body isn't a good idea right now, or for the near future. For the time being, he'll need to do a few of those get-right fights, just to get the hang of what's going on and where his strength lies. And with a shift in weight class, it's not like he'll be leaving all the interesting options behind. If he decides to go for junior welterweight, he'll have the opportunity to face Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor, and he'll also get to fight the likes of Regis Prograis, Jack Catterall, Jose Ramirez, and Gary Antoine Russell. Those sound like great options to me. But coming back to Haney for a second though, he's still on a victory high after defeating Loma, and fans are calling it the biggest test of his career to date. The fight from start to finish was absolutely wild, and fans were sure that the Ukrainian would emerge victorious given his experience. But Haney's punching accuracy and smooth movement made him the winner. All of this leaves one question unanswered. What next for Devin? Well, the champ's got several options lined up, but first he needs to decide what division he's going to stay in. As I said, he could either go up to 140 pounds or stay at 135. It's all up to him. But whatever he decides will determine who his next opponent will be. If the champ decides to stay in the lightweight division, he has several interesting options, and said if he stays with his old weight class, he'll be eyeing Gervonta Davis or maybe even Shakur Stevenson. As far as Haney's concerned, he said he's not sure about who his next opponent will be or the weight class that he'll be fighting. And chances are, it'll take some time to figure those things out.
Oh man, it's always been tough for me to make the weight, and I accomplished everything at 135. I just beat a future Hall of Famer.
Even though their paths might seem different now, there's no question that Garcia and Haney would make for an awesome bout. They'll both deliver in terms of money and audience. King Rye might be facing a little setback, but that doesn't mean he's not a talented fighter, because every fighter has their ups and downs. You win some, you lose some, right? Well, unless you're Floyd Money Mayweather, but that's a story for another day. Despite Ryan's recent defeat, he's still got boatloads of charisma and popularity, which is always a deciding factor when putting a matchup together. But hey, it's going to be a while until we get any confirmation on that front. So there you have it, fight fans. From Devin Haney coming off an amazing win against Vasily Lomachenko, to Ryan Garcia struggling to overcome his setback with Tank, that was everything you need to know about a potential Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia bout.